And then we go to the 15th, which Rachel Maddow. That Rachel Maddow coming up when Karen interviewed with her. That was so powerful. Naira Sharif from Democracy Defense League Water Task Force was standing there in my living room, and I got a text actually from Ron Fonger saying, "Hey, look at this," because we actually had NBC and CBS at our house on Tuesday. Tuesday night, so I didn't know it was happening because I didn't see it on Facebook because I wasn't online. And sure enough, there she was on TV, and we videoed it, took pictures, jumped up and down and cheered and thanked her so much. Funny story, earlier in the day, I had lunch with Naira and Mona, Dr. Mona Hanna-Attisha. We were eating a quick lunch and discussing everything that was going on before the press conference, and which the mayor was going to talk about what a state of emergency actually means. And then all of a sudden our phones started blowing up, people wanting interviews. So we realized then that this was going to be a huge, huge issue. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sneeze. So we realized that it was going to be bigger than we expected. I mean, we were glad that she had done it, that she had declared it. And we figured there'd be some buzz, but not nationwide buzz, not producers from NBC New York and CBS News about the Today Show and this and that wanting to talk to us. So then we did the interviews, and there we see our amazing mayor actually talking about what we need for once. Keeping in mind that the mayor we previously had the entire time told us the water was safe. He drinks the water every day. The water's fine. He actually went on the news drinking a cup of Flint water saying it tastes great, tastes a little bit like chlorine, but it tastes great and it's safe. So to have someone who's been in office for just over a month say, we are in a state of emergency, we need help. We need help more than what the city and county can actually do on our own, was huge. And I guess whatever it did, whatever happened for the national media, for Rachel Maddow to pick it up, awesome. Just fantastic. And Karen did a fantastic job explaining the situation. And you could see the concern on Rachel's face, which was great because then she followed up with Dr. Hanna-Attisha and did an interview with her. So yeah, so we were very happy. After all the cameras left, we were just jumping up and down the living room. We're like, oh my God, the nation cares. The nation is listening. We have the nation listening to what's happening in our little city. And after feeling like no one's cared for so long, boom, there it is on MSNBC. And there's our mayor. And that was fantastic. That was awesome. So that seemed to be just a big, huge pickup in speed on the media list. So
how about the Washington Post article? I believe that was on Thursday or on Tuesday as well, the 15th. How big was that?
That was great. I have Brittany Greason. She's a photojournalist, and she was working with the Washington Post, and she had talked about this story for 6 months and tried to get them to allow her to come back to tell the story through photos, to tell them how serious it was. So for them to finally say, hey, there's a problem. Wow. That was huge. My phone has blown up because people are like, did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see this article? And that little girl, that's Lila, that's the Pembertons. They've marched with us since January. They're amazing, amazing family that have suffered. They've suffered so much. And so for them to pick this up and say, this needs to be mainstream. This is a huge problem. Finally, I think it took the medical information to come out about how bad lead in water is for children, elderly, for people in general. I think it took that for people to say, hold on, this is for real poison. This isn't just a little bit of a problem. This isn't a maybe problem. This is a total, yes, the rest of your life problem. So when they picked up on it, that was also huge. And I know there was a couple of people that got a hold of me and said, well, we need to interview you. The Washington Post blew this out of the water, so we want to follow up. And I said, sure. Instead of being angry saying, oh, where were you? No, great, good. Please tell our story. So yes, and that was a great article. It was very solid about the risks to children, as well as, people have to remember, I'm 37, I'm extremely sick. So it's not just children. That's me and Gladys. She's amazing. It's not just the children. That's Tony Palladino telling the mayor off, the former mayor off. The former mayor who never declared a state of emergency, who never said we even had a problem. To this day, there's nothing saying that, yep, okay, water's poison, this is bad, we need help. So that is one of the reasons he's no longer mayor.
Is this your hair?
No, this is Tony's hair. This is some of the hair he's lost, and he collects it. He kept it in a bag, and so did Gladys. And I take pictures, and then I throw it away because it's sad of all the hair that I've lost. Yes, Tony. He's like, I'm a man, and look how much hair I've lost. And that's one thing, is that people got to realize, it's a huge deal. It's a huge problem. It's horrifying how much your body has changed because of the toxins in the water.
Can you talk about Eric Mays? He doesn't seem to be getting too much press as the citizens these days.
Eric I first met him in January at that very first protest. He told me he was a city council person. We joked about our last names being the same. And he ran for mayor. He's marched along with us. He's not changed his course. He's flamboyant. He gets into trouble. I believe they pick on him because he is so vocal. He spoke out against the Flint River. He's spoken out against the KWA, the Carigandi Water Authority coming up. He's spoken out against crooked council people, crooked state people. He's been extremely vocal, and I think that they've targeted him. And he gets very passionate, so that sometimes also gets him into trouble and escorted from meetings, but he wants the truth to be heard. I respect him because, his job aside, he doesn't care. What's true is true, and what he knows is wrong is wrong. His mom almost died because of the water. They put off his mom's aneurysm surgery because she had a rash because of the water. They had to wait for the rash to go away. So they had to wait. While she had an aneurysm, she could have died. And people don't realize that. He has been personally affected. And that's why he continues to march with us, to protest with us, and stand up. And he's learned a lot about water. And you know what? Good. The other city council people should have as well. But instead, they rode the fence. They changed their minds. They went back on what they were saying. They never stayed as steadfast as he has. So I appreciate